Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is.
Thank you for joining me on my masterclass from the War Zone. Now, today we're talking about 5 of the best performing investments in human history. Now, these are 5 of the best performing investments in human history. And this is not hyperbole, this is not hype. I'm going to give you facts to back it up. So, these are the 5 best performing investments in human history. And the reason why we're doing this is, when you look back and you learn from history, you're able to make better projections for the future. But if you don't look back and if you don't learn from history, you're going to repeat history, and then you're going to blame history for repeating itself. History is an inanimate, abstract thing. History does not repeat itself. Men repeat history by failing to learn from it. Now, without further ado, let's get into the 5 best performing investments in human history. Just because of where I am, usually I like to go into some preamble, but I'm still here. Anyway, so the very first one is Bitcoin. No big surprise there. When you consider how much Bitcoin was selling for way back in 2010, if you look at how much Bitcoin was selling for, it's unbelievable. October 2010, Bitcoin was selling for 10 cents. 10 cents, literally 10 cents. You can actually go check it up yourself. It was selling for 10 cents. And then people who were buying it up then, they were considered as fools. I'm sure you must have seen the story of that one guy who exchanged Bitcoin for pizza. And then he's killing himself today. He's going around talk show host. He's looking very depressed. But Bitcoin was actually 10 cents, October 2010. And then it was even before then. Bitcoin was even, I think there was a time when it was at 0.0008. I don't know if I'll call that cents. 0.008 dollar. So now let's just take October 2010 when it was 10 cents. If you had invested $100, now just $100, if you invested $100 in Bitcoin, you would have bought 10,000 Bitcoin. And then today, your 10,000 Bitcoin would have been what? $44 million. $44 million at the current rate of between $42,000 and $44,000 for Bitcoin. Bitcoin has shot up in value because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the sanctions placed in Russia. So it's about between 42,000 and 44,000. It might go higher, but we're just working with today's and yesterday's prices. So your $100 investment would have given you 42 billion or 44 billion. And now this is a space of what? 2010 to now, that's about 13 years. So in 13 years, you would have made a profit of between 42 million and 44 million dollars. Now think about that. What on earth can give you that kind of return on your investment? Nothing, absolutely nothing. There's nothing on earth. Maybe in heaven, certainly in heaven, yes, but not on earth. Nothing can give you that kind of return on your money on earth. Now the next best performing investment in human history are also affiliated to the crypto world, and those are NFTs. NFTs, of course, I've done a video about NFTs before. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and I've explained the term fungibility, what it means. If you don't understand it, watch my video when I taught about NFTs and how to make them, how to create them, how to sell them, how to buy them. But NFTs, if you look at an NFT, for instance, now you're going to see an NFT on the screen. That NFT is by Xcopy. It's coined for a ferryman. Now that NFT you're seeing there sold for $6,034,000. That NFT you're seeing, $6,034,000. Now you're going to see a bunch of other NFTs that sold even more. They sold even more. Like for instance, the merge by Pac. The merge by Pac sold for I think $91.8 million. You can verify it. You don't have to take my word for it. Maybe you're saying, oh no, Reno Murphy is just being silly. No, this can't be what. Check it out. Research it yourself. One NFT. Now, so these are the monies are going to the artists, okay. But what about people who buy NFTs? and then sell them on different kinds of marketplaces like Nifty Gateway, OpenSea, MetaMask, Mintable. Look, last year, I encourage people because I'm not meant to give financial advice because this is the I mean it comes with the territory. You have to let people know this is not financial advice. But I counsel people. I said, buy the Bored Ape Yacht Club, buy their NFTs. This was when it was, I won't say it was worthless, but when you could buy it for like $300. Today, how much are they going for? About $150,000. So if you had bought one when I told you to buy one at $300, you'd have had like maybe a profit of about $150,000. I mean, what kind of business can give you that kind of return? And this is not even up to a year. It's not even up to a year. I told you guys about Kaju Kings. I told you guys about Pudgy Penguins. And they've all come true. All of the counsel I gave you guys have all come true. And just think, so if you're looking at that, that's just some mad, return on your investment. With NFTs, you're looking at something like maybe 10,000, between 10,000 and 30,000 return on your percent return on your investment. Where are you going to get that? So NFTs are the second. Now the third one. What are the third one? That's gold ETF. The gold ETF. Now I've talked about the gold ETF, and the reason why I do this, I hate poverty, and I'm trying to attack poverty. I was so, comfortable in my own self until I began to travel around Africa 2018, and then 2019 I began to travel around Asia. And I'm telling you, you guys, you think you've seen poverty. Look, wait until you go to Southeast Asia. You haven't seen poverty. But anyway, I digress. The gold ETF, and what's a gold ETF? I've done a video about the gold ETF. If you don't understand what the gold ETF is, go and watch my video on the gold ETF. But the gold ETF is so profitable. In some countries, like in Nigeria, you get a return of investment as high as 67%. Now, when you compare it to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then NFTs, those kinds of things, they've actually spoiled entrepreneurs and investors. So 67% might not look like a lot, but really it is a lot. It's a lot of money. And it's not just Nigeria. A lot of other gold ETFs are doing very well. But I think right now the best gold ETF, one of the best in the whole world, is the gold ETF in Nigeria. So the thing about gold is that gold is so unique. Unlike, okay, I'll give an example. Bitcoin, it's very volatile. It goes up, it goes down. NFTs are fad. But gold, it's probably the safest way to preserve your wealth on planet Earth. If you look at gold that was around from the time of Adam, it still has value till today. But other things that were around in the time of Adam, they don't really have value. Some of them don't even exist anymore. But gold, and if you read scripture, if you read Genesis chapter 2, start from verse 10, read all the way to verse 14, particularly verse 11, by verse 13, Genesis 2:13, you begin to see that gold has always been mentioned in scripture. He talked about the good gold of the land of Havilah. The word used in some ancient scripture is nubu. Nubu is that's where you get the word Nubian from. Nubu means gold. So gold has always held its value. So it's a very good way to preserve your family wealth or your personal wealth. Now, the fourth way are growth stocks. Now, what are growth stocks? Growth stocks are just stocks in any given industry or sector that are expected to do better than similar stocks in that growth sector. So those are what growth stocks are. They're very, very good for cash flow. Now, if you look at what how good growth stocks have done, growth stocks, they should actually come in as number 3. But I had to balance it out because we're talking about gold here, and then gold, it's not susceptible to up and down movement. It's not so volatile. But let's go return to growth stocks. If let's take a growth stock like Monster Beverage Corporation. If you had invested in Monster Beverage Corporation 20 years ago, today you would have had an 8,700% on your return on your investment. That's 8,700% return on your investment. Yeah, you heard me right. Your ROI would have been 8,700%. Now, where on earth would you get that kind of return on your investment? Where? So other than Bitcoin and NFTs, it's almost impossible. So Monster Beverage, they are the people that make they make full throttle, they make Monster, they drink Monster, the energy drink. So what they do, they really make energy drinks. So they make full throttle, they make Burn, and then they make Monster, which is probably the most popular product. Then Netflix, if you had invested in Netflix, 20 years ago, you're looking at something like 5,000% return on your investment. If you had invested in Apple in 1990, you're looking at about 2,700% on your investment. So growth stocks are the fourth area. Now the fifth and final, best performing, investment in human history would be the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500 is more or less it's very conservative, so some people would argue that it shouldn't even come into this kind of ranking, but it should when you look at the history. So the S&P 500 has been around with us since 1926. So we have a 96-year history, and in that 96-year history, the annualized average, yearly returns, the annualized returns has been 10.49%. So it is so regular. It doesn't give you, serious kind of money like Bitcoin, Ethereum, NFTs, even the gold ETF, but or some growth stocks. But it does give you steady, regular income that is predictable. So when you look at the 96-year history and the 10.49 average annualized return, that's a lot of money. So there you have it. There you have it. Now, if you watch this and you have questions arising from this, what you can do, you can put them in the comment section. My staff are very, very good at curating comments. They bring them to me, and I will respond to your comments. I'll respond to them as much as possible, as best as I can. But then you have to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum. I do not have a Telegram channel. I do not have a Gmail email address. Scammers have seen that my videos tend to go viral, and so they create fake YouTube profiles. They approach people in the comment section. They give them WhatsApp numbers. They give them what they call helpline. They give them Telegram channels. They give them Gmail email addresses for them to get one-on-one mentoring, and then they dupe them. Please, please, please. Everything I do is for free. I do not have any of these means of communicating with people. Beware of scammers. Now, this is Ronald Mokri saying God bless you.